blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join us in the chat. Welcome into another week of summer scouting here in the Sportsocracy. We've got more position groups to go over today, Jeremy Green, but first things first, Caitlin Clark is being bullied in the WNBA, and this aggression shall not stand. We just can't deal with this.
I don't care.
WNBA.
I do not care. I cannot believe we have taken over the world to talk about, is it racist in the WNBA that Caitlin Clark got hip checked? Let me explain this to you, and I'll explain it real slow. People that have been around for a long time really don't like hearing how the 22-year-old is revolutionizing their business, and it doesn't matter if she's white or what ethnicity she is. She's young, she's annoying, and I want to show you that you are not as good as you think you are. End of message, repeat the line. So every other national show that has taken over their show for 3 hours to talk about this, you could have stopped with what I just said and been just fine.
But they can't do that to the golden child. It's in no way Caitlin Clark's fault that, she's being met with that kind of attitude.
The bigger question I have is, could we possibly get a camera in these, if we're going to show these WNBA press conferences, could we maybe stop shooting them off a 1994 VHS camcorder? Like, is that a thing that we could do? Maybe get somebody with an iPhone 15? No big deal?
They're trying to live stream it with a Nokia.
I think somebody was using their flip razor on that bad boy, because when we play the audio from it and it has to be transcribed to tell me what they're saying, you probably could have done without the audio, bruh.
I had a silver one. What color was yours?
I had I can't remember what the thing was called, but it was the big brick phone that you flipped it up and there was a keyboard in there. It was like an Envy, I think. I think that's what that
was. It was like a BlackBerry?
No, it was an LG. I had a BlackBerry too. Oh. And guess what? I used that BlackBerry I was conducting business, but it wasn't the kind of business that BlackBerry intended on me to be coordinating.
Who's shocked?
Daddy had a day planner, and that thing kept everything straight.
Oh my. Yeah, we're not going down that path. But what path we will go down is holy shnikes. The contract has come in for Justin Jefferson, the NFL's #1 wide receiver. Minnesota Vikings giving him a 4-year contract extension, $140 million, $110 million guaranteed, 89 of it due up front.
Which is insane.
Due at signing. I'm putting my X on the line here. You need to hand me a check for $88.743 million.
Xavier Worthy got in trouble with $88 up front.
Wow.
Justin Jefferson, I hope you are a little bit smarter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The number is exactly what I thought it would be. We all knew Justin Jefferson, whoever signed last, was going to be the highest paid receiver in the league. So now the question is that Jamar Chase or is it CeeDee Lamb? Because they're both talking to their agents right now going, we start at 35, and I ain't going to be happy at 35.
Who can get the deal done faster? That's the big question. Jamar Chase gets his done for 35.5 per year, 36 per year. And then, of course, CD is going to want 36.5. Got to beat it by just a half. To me, the biggest part of this was $110 million guaranteed and the upfront money. I mean, we've never seen dollars like that.
That is
for a wide receiver. That's
that is an
insanity.
absurd amount up front due at signing. I'm shocked. The only thing I will tell you about that is every time I've ever seen a player get that kind of payday up front, they start looking to renegotiate in about 16 months. So just be aware of that if you're Minnesota. When that big payday comes that early, guys don't tend to stay happy with just base pay, which is not going to be a grand amount.
Well, I mean, he's got to keep putting up the numbers, and he will always be able to renegotiate for more.
Let me ask you a question.
I mean, this is like Calvin Johnson in Detroit. I'm not saying he's an equal talent yet or anything. I'm just saying pretty much similar. Your whole franchise is based on this guy.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now let me ask you a question. Do you feel better or worse about the Minnesota Vikings today than you felt yesterday?
I'm ambivalent. I'm just
ambivalent. That's a big word. So does that mean you're
a
frog?
I don't feel one way. I don't feel one way or the other, better or worse, because I knew this was coming. I knew you had to do this. You had to give him the money. You were always going to give him the money, and it's just it's the position that you find yourself in. Is it going to be harder to build around him? Well, yeah.
The exact details of cap number and things like that they're not out yet. Just what Minnesota was committed to, because look, I'm going to be as nice about this as I can be. 2024 is a spent cost because you have either rookie J.J. McCarthy or Sam Darnold. And look, I love Sam more than anybody that's not directly related to him. You're not going to be very good, and I don't think that's even spicy. But if you look at next year, the lowest cap number that I could physically figure out for Justin Jefferson, if you backloaded this as aggressively as humanly possible, you still only have like $40 million to build a roster around Justin Jefferson, and I don't see it. I just don't. I see no possibility, short of Minnesota having a draft class like the Jets had last year or 2 years ago, or the Saints had a few years ago. You're going to have to hit 4 or 5 Pro Bowlers in one class just to build a roster that's good enough to win your own division.
Yes. I've got nothing to say against that, because there is no real path for this team to be good other than you got to hope you just hit it with J.J. McCarthy. And we don't feel great about that.
Okay, let's say you did.
I know you don't feel good at all about that.
I don't feel good at all. But let's just say you did. Let's say you hit it, and J.J. McCarthy is – what's the high side for him? Give me a comp of – if we were setting a Madden rating, what is the best you could possibly expect from J.J. McCarthy? Short of something stupid like he takes a Pat Mahomes trek, which I don't in any way see.
Say like a 85.
So Kirk Cousins.
Maybe. Yeah.
So basically you
Best
just
possible.
added high-end athletic Kirk Cousins to a roster he couldn't win with. And now you have the most expensive receiver in the league. A handful of terrible defensive deals that you signed that are going to age like milk. I don't know what your plan is. That's always my fear. When I look at an NFL team and I go, this is what we're going to do year over year, and this is how I'm going to be competitive 2 years from now. Can you find that? Because I'm looking at Minnesota going, Detroit has maybe the best GM in the NFL. If not, he's certainly top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is probably the most stable franchise in the NFL. If not, they're in the top 3.
Right.
And I just look around and go, how are you supposed to be better than that? Oh, and by the way, I haven't even mentioned the Bears yet.
Right.
I haven't mentioned the Bears because I don't know what I'm getting. That's a historically dog water franchise that now has more talent than you do by 10 times. So what is the path?
The path is same old Vikings? Like going back to Mike Zimmer. I mean, we're going to try to score as many points as possible and just pray that we can outscore you. But that's only going to be good for 5-6 wins a year for the foreseeable future. Because they're just not, like as you said, they're just not that talented on the defensive side of the ball.
They're not. It's just not a very good roster. It's not a very good build. It's a very.
See, I liked the offense when you had a quarterback. When you take the quarterback away, you don't like the offense.
No, I see a nice tight end. Mm-hmm. I think he's top 8 in the NFL, but he's paid like he's top 2, which he's not. He hasn't been his entire career. He's a great talent, but he's really inconsistent. The line is good, not great. I think you have a phenomenal left tackle in Christian Darrisaw. I don't really like anything else. You have a running back who's probably got 1 year left, and outside of Jordan Addison, I'm not sure I could, without thinking really hard, name another receiver on that team.
Nailed it.
It's not warm and fuzzy. There's nothing great about that.
No, that doesn't make you elite by any stretch of the imagination. But I would say that that's a plus offense.
I will say it's top 16 in the NFL, and your defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have the worst secondary in the NFL. You overpaid Jonathan Grenard, who, if I'm being kind, is the Temu version of Daniil Hunter. Yeah, you see what I did there? I upgraded it. It used to be Wish, now it's Temu. What up?
I like it.
I learned a book. I just, to me, I feel like for the next 5 years, I could change the word purgatory to Viking, and it would all be hunky spunky. Nobody would ever know the difference.
Yeah.
We have some really sad breaking news, by that. Don't hit the button. This is not a.
Oh dear.
Larry Allen passed away at 52.
Oh man.
He died suddenly on vacation with his family in Mexico.
52 years old. I would have thought he was older than that.
No, that sounds about right. He was in his prime in the mid-90s with the Cowboys. So you add 28 years onto that.
Wow. Larry Allen, arguably one of the this is the release from the team, arguably one of the greatest players in the history of the Cowboys and perhaps the best offensive lineman in NFL history, has passed away far too soon. Allen died on Sunday at the age of just 52 years old, vacationing in Mexico with his family when he passed away.
To me, that's not arguable. He's a top 5 Cowboy ever, inarguably. He's a top 5 offensive lineman of all time, and I think that's inarguable.
Now, when we did our when we did our Mount Rushmores, he was my number one. Right, the number 1 pick of all time for the Dallas Cowboys. He was an unbelievable legend, and Dallas Cowboys say they're very saddened to share that he has passed away. Super Bowl champion, Cowboys Ring of Honor member, and Pro Football Hall of Famer Larry Allen passing away at the age of 52. We'll take a break, and we'll return here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Miss...
Clear.
Thank you.
I'm so proud My music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4. Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dales available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone
Come
who
back
works
talking
hard,
about NFL
plays
teams in
hard,
purgatory.
and relaxes. Okay.
All right, I want to talk about high-end receivers and how that doesn't seem to be changing much in the second half of this hour.
Seize the Dales. Unwind and
Then we'll get
style.
into the trios and the corners.
Just look for the beer in the blue
Next
jean
hour.
box.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy live at the Ingles studio. Jeremy live at Mullet Manor. Being caught in purgatory in the NFL is obviously never a good thing. It's never where you want to be.
I think
But
I've
it's a
been in
place
purgatory here at Mullet Manor for the last 3 days. It's been chaos around here.
It's a place that so many franchises find themselves living in for way too long. Some can never really ever get out of that hole. Minnesota's chief among them.
I think Minnesota's been in purgatory for 20 years, and I wouldn't be shocked if they do it for 20 more.
You only claw out, once every other decade. And does does Justin Jefferson change that?
It's
by
hard for me to
himself?
believe that with what I feel like has to be a step down at quarterback. Even if J.J. McCarthy is everything you want him to be, I still feel like his high side is what you just got out of Kirk Cousins.
Yes. The only thing you did was reset the clock.
Which there's a merit to that, don't get me wrong. but you did it at a pretty significant cost for a quarterback that has a super low hit rate.
Mm-hmm. But they got Sam Darnold, so it's all going to be fine.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, with if they would just commit to Sam Darnold right now, this team probably could be a Super Bowl team in 2 years.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm just curious how close you can get on this. 1998, the Vikings went 15-1. How many times have they won more than 12 games since then?
I want to say once.
Nope, it's more than that. They won 13 2 years ago. They were the 1 seed, I think.
All right, let's go.
Or no, they were the 2 seed.
Let's go 3.
It's 3. They've won 13 twice. They won 12 in 2009. Other than that, they have not won. They've won 11 or less games, and they've only won 11 twice. There are a lot of 8-9, 7-10, 8-8, 5-10, 5-10-1, 3-13. It's just a mediocre franchise. It has been forever. I think they're the definition of mediocre because they're never awful. Minnesota is never awful because that 3-13 year, that's almost as big of an outlier as the 15-1 is. Because you just look through the history, and this is who they have been forever. I mean, since the 70s, this is who they have been. Doesn't matter who the coach is, doesn't matter who the quarterback is, because this is who you are. And that does kind of play into me with J.J. McCarthy. Because if you think about it, who are the best quarterbacks in the history of this franchise? Obviously, Fran Tarkenton. Let's go, since the bars on the helmet didn't look like you were going to get immediately eviscerated if somebody touched you.
Well, Kirk Cousins is one.
I would not have had Kirk Cousins at 1.
Really?
Randall Cunningham.
Who am I forgetting? Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that didn't last real long. The Randall Cunningham era was like a real hot summer girlfriend. It lasted about 2 weeks. You'll tell that story for the rest of your life. That's not common, bruh.
That was better than Kirk Cousins, though.
You've had way more cankles than Callies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody please clip
would
that.
Be the next one.
That came off the top of my head, and I think that might be the funniest thing I've said this week.
Yeah, so far we're only 20 minutes in. So.
Oh yeah, it is Monday. Good God, it's only Monday. This is good. I've had enough events in the last 3 days that I just want to crawl into a ball and sleep till about Thursday.
What did Vince do to you?
Events.
Oh, events.
Not Vince. I don't know events other than Vince McMahon, and he didn't do anything to me.
That was going to be my next question was who's Vince and why are you just using his Christian name? We all know you call him Vinny.
Who's Vince and why is he doing stuff to you? I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking.
Vinny and what does he want to break?
I'm looking at the history of this franchise, and you've got Randall Cunningham, who was the quarterback of the 15-1 year. That was his only year as the starter there. I did not realize that. Dante Culpepper and the 2 years of Brett Favre and Kirk Cousins. Other than that, it's a lot of Case Keenum, Sam Bradford, Matt Castle, Teddy Bridgewater, Gus Frerotte, Brad Johnson, Jeff George. Yikes.
But you seem to constantly keep a piece or two that makes you exciting, right? That makes you not god awful.
Well, I mean, you went from Randy Moss, then you had a big old lapse in playmakers for quite some time. Now you got Justin Jefferson. You had Chris Carter back in the day.
Right. Adrian Peterson, Dalvin Cook. Like you've had playmakers that have kept you in this, 5 to 8 win range.
Okay, I'll give you the running backs. I was kind of overlooking that. Because if your best player's a running back, that's kind of like your best quality being your personality. Means you're not a cutie pie.
But still, it's still good enough to keep you competitive. I mean, the Tennessee Titans have proved that with Derrick Henry.
You know, I never thought of this. Do you see a parallel between the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings? I feel like they're the AFC version, the AFC NFC versions of each other. You are always so nondescript. You splurge in free agency every once in a while, but you're never really a threat. You're never bad, but you're never great either.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought of that until you just said it.
You're rarely bad. You do have those one-offs.
Everybody has those one-offs. There's no team in the last 25 years that hasn't had a year.
Mm-hmm.
New England was the one outlier, and, well, we're living in that era.
Right. Who else is in the? Who else do you see as just being mired in this purgatory?
Miami.
Okay, but I mean they are competitive for now.
Minnesota's competitive. Tennessee's competitive. To me, there's no difference between those three other than one of them's flashy, and you really like drunkenly looking at their coach going, doing a great job, coach. That's the only difference. One of them has a coach that wears capris and cool guy sunglasses and has really fast receivers. They all have good receivers. I'm not sure about any of your quarterbacks. Your defenses are suspect, and you haven't been a championship contender, any of the three of you, outside of 1 year with Tennessee in the last 40 years.
It's a harsh reality.
Isn't it, though?
It is a harsh reality.
I can throw my team in there, too. I mean, my team is the living embodiment of purgatory. The only difference is that sometimes we suck on ice. We're never great, but sometimes we're awful.
Yes.
For me, that's not purgatory. That's just unmitigated sadness. Your teams at least give you hope. They give you a Justin Jefferson or a Tyreek Hill or a Derrick Henry. My team just kicks me in the nether regions about 17 times a year.
Yep. That they do. I mean, the Miami Dolphins live in purgatory. But you want to, I want to put them better than that. Right? They're a contender for their division. They're a playoff contender in the toughest division or toughest conference in football. They're not the Minnesota Vikings. They're better than that. But for how long?
Well, see, and I guess this fits into you have way more categories than I do.
Yes.
I mean, because for me, I look at it, all right, the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are not good. Over the last 30 some odd years, you still got a Super Bowl in the mid-'80s. You win to another one in the early 2000s, mid-2000s. I would take that over Minnesota. Would you not?
Yes.
I guess that's my point. This has always kind of been the thing that you and I, we butt heads on this. Because you're really locked into just being competitive. I'll be terrible for 30 years if it means I get one Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. If you tell me Aaron Rodgers leads my Jets to a Super Bowl this year, it's been worth every heartache, every tear, every sadness. It's all worth it. You've brought me around on that.
It most definitely will be worth it. It's the how long are you gonna do this? How long are you gonna keep going down this path? When are things actually gonna change for your franchise? You're at a point where, hey, it could be this year. It could have been last year. It could be this year. It could be next year. You're in a point where you're competitive to the point of, I can win something with this team. The Miami Dolphins are I can win something with this team. They could win the division. Now they're still a second-tier contender in their conference, which is a major problem. Were they in that other conference, they might be a front runner.
And I guess that's where I look at Minnesota and go, this is even worse for me with them, because even in that,
Yes.
I look at the NFC and go, you're in the worst division you could possibly be in, because even the two historically bad teams are in a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are always good. They're you with rings. Because they're in the exact – actually, they're you with good quarterbacks.
Anybody else in this purgatory that you want to mention before the break?
I mean, the Buffalo Bills, I feel like it should be named for them. I'm not sure Buffalo shouldn't be. It shouldn't be called the Buffalo Bills tier. Of no matter how much hope you have, I guarantee you're going to need Kleenex at the end of this.
Right. And
to wipe your tears, don't be weird.
And that one window, right? You've had now 2 windows in your franchise history. You let the door slam on both of them.
And it feels to me as though it has slammed and locked on this era.
Oh, yeah. That ship has sailed in my mind. I'm still baffled how there's anybody who still thinks that this is an elite contender franchise. And they're out there.
Oh, there's a lot, especially in national radio. Mm-hmm. Keep talking about how the Jets and the Dolphins may have caught Buffalo. Yeah, they caught them, lapped them, and have laughed at them from far away.
Right. To the point where they're pointing now.
Yeah, they're pointing and laughing and going, nana, nana, boo-boo.
They're chucking up the Tyreek Hill deuces and just see you later.
I mean, and then there's the 2 that I feel like have to be mentioned, and I saw Vincent Collier said this in our YouTube chat, at the Cowboys and the 49ers. You look at those as though they're glory franchises. They're not. For the last 30 years, neither one of them has been. Oh, we got to a Super Bowl. Yeah, you did. You actually got to 2 of them. Neither one of them went your way.
No, did not. I mean, San Francisco's much closer than Dallas is.
I almost feel like it's worse to be San Francisco.
Because you've been there?
No, because you get much closer every year. So it's almost like a bad movie, and instead of just giving you a bad 20-minute ending, they give you a bad 20-second ending, and then you just sit in your chair like, I can't believe that's how this just ended. I wasted an hour and 42 minutes and $417 because that's what I think a movie ticket is now.
Yes, and the problem is you've already gotten one sequel, and you could have more in your future.
Oh, yeah, and the sequels are going to be like Godfather movies. They get worse as time goes on. This might be like Harold and Kumar. This is going to get markedly worse as time goes on.
Oh,
the first one was, hey, you do not speak ill of the dramatic masterpiece that was the Sharknado franchise, okay? Brian Austin Green, Tara Reid, let's go.
You trying to tell me that got better as it went along?
Well,
you tell me they improved?
Sharknado was kind of like the English bulldog of movies. You knew it was ugly going in. Like, you had to expect this thing to be like a prized show pony Pomeranian coming out trotting around with his little poofy tail. You were just hoping this thing didn't have burn marks and a missing ear. And then you stared at it long enough that you went, no, you're just a rascal. You just, let's give you a dog biscuit, you fat, ugly little thing. Just rub your belly.
Oh, that poor baby. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen temporal scanner weather for
clear.
If you had Sharknado on your bingo card, you're a witch.
Right.
I'll be right back.
Occasional showers.
Yes, sir.
This will be the case early this evening, and then cloudy with areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60. A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially before a few afternoon thunderstorms develop, and the high hits 85. And then rain will increase in coverage through Wednesday afternoon with showers and thunderstorms at times, and a high temperature eventually hitting the low 80s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bug Out.
Say goodbye to pests with Bug Out. With over 60 years of experience, our expert technicians are equipped with innovative products, personalized service, and put our customers first. Choose year-round pest protection with Bug Out. Get a free quote by visiting bugoutservice.com today.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
This is the best time for being outdoors, but not if your knees, shoulders, backs, or hips are hurting. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk and run and hike and play golf and move again pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Find the perfect Father's Day gift with Macy's Gift Finder. In just a couple clicks, you'll get personalized gift ideas for every dad at every budget. Visit Macy's.com/gift finder and give love today at Macy's.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery.
Are you back?
And a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, we're proud.
Roger that.
Of local farms
and
businesses
I wasn't late, was I?
Communities we call home.
No.
Okay.
That ensure that you get top quality fresh items.
Give me a second to pull up my outside story too.
All right.
Individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And it's time to get just a bit outside. And Jeremy, today's just a bit outside the fold story. Darren Waller. Apparently, sources saying he's going to retire. And he's got other things on his mind than football right now. I mean, not only is he dealing with the divorce of his WNBA championship wife, Kelsey Plum, but he's got a music career. Are you aware of this?
Darren Waller does?
Darren Waller has a music career. He's been really focusing on his music, too. And over the weekend, or I guess this was on Friday, he dropped his latest single. I'm going to play it for you.
Oh, good Lord. Please tell me you got the edited version of this. I ain't getting fired over Darren Waller's stupid single.
No, this is not. This is a song to his divorced wife.
Oh, boy.
Take your time ahead. Just take a time out and feel the nights we opened up and we knew how much that you and I were real. How long I gotta climb up this hill. I'm tired and I wanna be still. Imagine if we fell out of tune. Cause fuck, who knew that love?
It's going like, what? It's like that the entire time. It's just auto-tune.
So just hearing that,
what is?
It sounded like the lyric was written out of a thesaurus. Like I just looked up. It's like he went to Google and went, "Give me a word that rhymes with still." Phil. I'll go Phil. I gotta say it like Uncle Phil, but I mean feel. Like I feel about you, and that's what I'm gonna do. That sounds like Post Malone if Post Malone drank 400 tequilas and went, I can still rap. It's fine. I can still do music. It's music. I'll do it.
Yeah, Darren Waller. He's really wanting to focus on his music career here. After that was his latest single. I guess his only single. I don't know. When do you get to call it a single? Is it just like, this is the only thing I could do, so hey, it's a single? Or does it have to be, you have to be signed? Does it have to be released by someone else other than yourself or YouTube? What's the qualification there?
Well,
can anybody just drop a single?
I posted this on social media the other day, Friday when we were off, and it hit me. It was a whole vibe of stop rapping. We need electricians, and I'm not just talking to Darren Waller. I'm talking to everybody who thinks they have a blossoming music career. 99.999% of you, no, you don't. No, you don't. And if you think you do, all right. This is my new benchmark. If you think you have a career in music, take your single and give it to a child. And see what that child says about your music, or take it to a nursing home and just see what they say, because they ain't pulling punches. If grandma looks at you and goes, "That is awful," and you should stop, you should never do that again, ever. I would rather listen to an EP from Joe Biden than ever hear what you just played again.
3 minutes and 5 seconds of nothing but straight. No, that's not true. So I'll say it's probably 2 minutes and 15 seconds of just straight auto-tune on his voice. The rest of it is him speaking in that like 1990s KC and JoJo kind of way. Like, girl.
Weird flex.
Weird.
I'm just throwing this out there.
You just need some time. Yeah, what are you throwing out there?
Yeah, that was a weird flex. I'm still. You could have gone Keith Sweat. You could have gone Aaron Neville. You could have gone a lot of places. You went Casey and JoJo, who had one song, and then I'm pretty sure opened a car wash, and nobody ever heard from them again. You could tell me Casey and JoJo did my taxes, and I would believe it. My story is about former Auburn head coach Brian Harsin. Possibly the worst hire in the history of college football. I don't. Do you disagree with that? We made fun of that from the minute it was announced.
Yes, we did.
Now I have even more reason to make fun of that hire. Have you? Do you follow Mr. Harsin on the Instagrams?
No,
I do. I follow a lot of people on the Instagrams. I do not, however, follow his wife, whose name is Kess, which I've never seen a human name that before, but I'm going to go with it. Well, apparently she, like me, subscribes to a few conspiracy theories. She posted a picture of the two of them together, and it's the two of them. It's at night. She's dressed like maybe they're at the beach. It looks like she's wearing a trash bag skirt, which I'm struggling to understand. But hey, I'm not a fashionista by any stretch of the imagination. But there's no clouds behind them, which is really important when I tell you what the caption said. It says, "Oh, look at this beautiful cloud formation," which ain't there. This is chemtrails, people. Anyone else tired of breathing in chemicals that are being dumped on you 24/7? It's time to take back our clear blue skies. If Tennessee banned it, why can't we? And you wonder why so many people suffer from allergies. All right, so let me get this straight. not only was your husband bum of a coach, now you are spewing conspiracy theories about chemtrails in a picture where there are no clouds. It'd be one thing if, like, there was a big cloud formation back behind them. I probably wouldn't have told this story. It is the clearest night in the history of the state of Alabama. There's nothing there. She didn't even Photoshop in clouds.
Nice.
The comments are just chef's kiss. I highly encourage. She has 7,500 followers. I think there were 7,500 comments. And I got through good number, and I didn't see 7.5 nice ones.
So Brian, the moral of the story is Brian Harson's wife is a kooky madookie.
Look, there are certain conspiracies that we all know are true. All right, Area 51. There were some weird little green critters that landed there. We all know that. All right, it's birds. Those of us that are in the know, we know that the birds are working for Amazon. Amazon's working for Google, and it's all a conspiracy to make you spend money and never leave your house. And I attribute that to Dr. Dauchi himself. I will cede the rest of my time to the floor. I think I proved my point.
Well, we were talking before the break. These purgatory franchises. You can call them poverty franchises as well.
No, the purgatory franchises and the poverty franchises are different. Poverty franchises are my Jets, the Jaguars. There's a team with a kitty cat that's really close to us, and I'm not going to say that because I'm in a mood to be nice, but you know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you know who the poverty franchises are. These are the ones that you're never awful, but you're really never a contender. And the more I started thinking about that, do you see a weird, I'll say, trend with the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL?
What, that they belong to one of these teams?
They do. Almost all of them do. I mean, I'm looking at the list right now of receiver contracts in the NFL. Now, it has not updated for Justin Jefferson. A.J. Brown was traded to the Eagles.
From?
The Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Who are one of these franchises.
Yes, exactly.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. We believe in the Lions, but this is new stuff. 2 with the Dolphins, 1 with the Raiders, 1 with the Rams, who outside of the Sean McVay era are the definition of this.
Yes.
Texans, Seahawks, 49ers, Colts, Commanders, Titans, Texans, Bengals, Bears. Do you see a trend? Do you notice that you don't see a lot of guys there on franchises that are really, really good historically? There's no Kansas City Chiefs there. There's no Buffalo Bills there. And I mean, look, they haven't gotten to the mountaintop, but they've been really good for a lot of years now. I just kind of look at wide receiver now, especially as I've been doing the summer scouting thing. I'm looking at the class like next year. I'm looking at the class from this past year. I'm not sure that I would ever pay a receiver unless it was Justin Jefferson. You'd have to be one of those top 5 guys. To me, Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of those. I had really no problem with that because they're in a window. I don't have a problem with it with the Eagles because they're in a window. The Dolphins aren't in a window. That roster is going to get worse every single year, fact or fiction.
Fact.
You've already had the high side, and that led to you getting drugged down the sidewalk in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders, I understand why you made the move on Devontae Adams. It never made total sense to me because you were just pairing him with Derek Carr. Then you ran him out of town. And, I mean, I think the Raiders are good, but I don't think they're a threat to win a Super Bowl.
No.
I don't think the Rams are a threat to win a Super Bowl. The Texans are the one that I look at and go, okay, you have a few guys on this list now because Nico Collins is in the top 10. Stephon Diggs is in the top 15 with the money that carried over, or the money that didn't carry over, which stayed with Buffalo. That takes him out of the top 10, puts him in the top 15. I can get it making a run. I just, with receivers, I will draft them. I'll take one-offs on Stephon Diggs. I'm good. There's too many of them.
The problem is that a lot of these franchises have also one of the reasons that these franchises have these guys too is because they were bad enough to get them in most cases. Right, Justin Jefferson.
That's actually kind of a misnomer. Justin Jefferson was an early 20s pick. That's a playoff team. A.J. Brown was a second-round pick. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a fourth-round pick. Tyreek Hill was a fourth-round pick. Jaylen Waddle's the only one in the top. Good gracious. Outside him and Devontae Smith are the only ones. Ooh, you have to go a long way. You got to go all the way to Mike Evans to get into another guy that was a top 15 pick.
Right. All right. Well, there goes that theory.
Actually, historically, high-end wide receivers don't. Guys that you take in the top 10, they don't tend to pan out.
Right.
That's gotten a little better over the last handful of years with Jamar Chase and Jaylen Waddle, Devontae Smith.
Then I guess I just got to go back to, well, you know, you're in a position where you have to keep the guy.
I don't think you're ever in a position where you have to keep a guy. Okay, all right, I'm going to ask this a different way.
Yeah.
If Minnesota had said, you know what, we're not going to pay Justin Jefferson because we're just not that franchise, what would they have gotten for him?
Oh.
1 year left on the deal. You have to give him the big boy contract. Would he have gotten more or less than the Chiefs got for Tyreek Hill?
More.
I agree. So if you're telling me I can get a 1, 2 day 2 picks and 3 day 3 picks for Justin Jefferson, you're telling me that team wouldn't have been better off doing that? I'd have done it in a heartbeat. Wouldn't have even thought about it. And there's a team desperate enough to have done it. Buffalo. If Buffalo called the Minnesota Vikings before the ink was dry on this contract, said, we'll give you next year's 1, next year's 3, next year's 2, and a handful of day 3 picks, and they turned that down, I would have, if I were the owner of the Vikings, I'd have Kwesi Adofo-Mensah taken out by security.
Yeah, and I'm just of the mindset that I can't give up on that. I can't give up on the known of a star.
Oh, I can.
For the maybe of a draft pick.
Best franchise in the NFL do it on a yearly basis. Pittsburgh Steelers do it. Kansas City Chiefs do it. Baltimore Ravens do it. Philadelphia Eagles have done it. It's weird. Yeah, but you know who tends to make those deals? Bad teams. The Miami Dolphins. These purgatory teams. That's who goes and gets that guy. There's a reason for that. You home grow wide receivers. At my preliminary rankings for next year, there are over 100 receivers that I could see being drafted next year. That's not the case at any other position, and it's not even close. So why do you keep paying these guys? You're giving these guys big boy money on bad teams. That doesn't make any sense to me. Jefferson's an elite player. I get it. You let him walk out the door, the fan base is going to riot. I'm talking about in terms of sheer results. I don't think you benefit from this. Sells you more jerseys, and if that's what you're worried about, you should talk to the WNBA or the NBA or Major League Baseball, because that's where that fits.
But do I have hope without him?
Do you have hope with him?
It's always the fear of the unknown.
You have no hope with him. I'll bet my house right now Minnesota doesn't win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Bet it right now, would not think a second thing about it. That's how long this contract is.
Not. Well, of course not.
Well, that's how long this contract is. So if you're telling me you agree with me, there's no shot you're winning a Super Bowl, then what the hell's the point? Call around. Find one of these teams that thinks they're in a window. Hijack them. Rebuild the roster. Stop giving stupid free agent deals to Jonathan Grenard. And all of these duct tape pieces to make you 9-8. I'm going to say this every single time. And I'll be honest with you. We've been doing this 4 years. I don't think I've ever been wrong about one of these. I don't think I've ever looked at a guy and gone, well, that didn't actually increase your ability to win a Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden they do.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Kansas City. They basically auctioned this team off for parts. L'Jarius Sneed, don't need him. Give me a draft pick. Not even an elite draft pick. Just give me a draft pick because I don't want to pay him. I'll draft his replacement. Joshua Williams, guy I took in the 5th round. Guess what? He'll slide in, and that'll be a Super Bowl team. Contender at the very least. Minnesota.
Oh, we can't let Justin Jefferson go because, well, the other draft picks we have is working at Lowe's now. So we have to be the one we ever hit. We have to really hold on to him and love him forever.
But that only works if you have the quarterback. Right? That only works if you have Pat Mahomes. That only works if you have a great quarterback.
Well, J.J. McCarthy ain't Pat Mahomes, and he's not going to be.
I get it, but in that scenario, then I have to have a weapon. I have to have the star to try to get the most out of him, to try to develop him, because he'll be better.
So you're going the Philadelphia Eagle build of, hey, we got everything right but the quarterback. Hey, how many Super Bowls has Philadelphia won without a oh yeah. That build, it got you the Super Bowl one time. Mm-hmm. And you lost. I mean, I hate to be as cut and dry as I hate to say this as cut and dryly as I'm getting ready to. You better either be a flawless drafting team, which Philadelphia is, Baltimore is, Pittsburgh is, or you better have an elite quarterback. Because if you're not one of those two things, you're not winning a ring, period. The way this league is built now, it's not happening. So you can take your Miami Dolphins and, hey, look, we scored a whole lot of points. Yep, call me in January. Stop crying first, but call me and you can. I'll happily listen to you tell me I was right.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Who has the best pass catchers in the league? We're talking about the best trios coming up next after the break.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save.
Now we're clear.
It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Thank you. 5 minutes.
I'm a robot.
Yes, sir.
You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tuesday, July 30th, Orange Peel Events presents Chevelle. Get your tickets now, online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Chevelle, live, July 30th at Rabbit.
If you're in crisis, call 988 to get immediate assistance.
Recovery is within your reach. You can do it. You just have to do it.
For resources to help you in your recovery, call 211 or go to buncombecounty.org/safer. Hope and healing, closer than you think.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games,
You may
bringing
be
the Fan
classy,
Fest to
but are
semi-pro
you
soccer,
drink Monster
or
out of a
taking
wine
you out to
glass
the
because you
ballgame
couldn't
at
find
Minor
another
League
glass
Park?
classy?
It's all in the bag.
Is that what you're doing right now?
I am.
Love the saving.
Nice.
Well, I walked to the bar and didn't want to walk into the kitchen because I couldn't tell what time it was. So I just grabbed a wine glass, grabbed some ice from the bar, chucked it in that bad boy.
Check us out online.
We're drinking
at
fancy.
Clarissa Sells WNC.
Nice.
Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-3
Still got 2 minutes.
or Clarissa
My child is hoarding drinking glasses in her bedroom. I think she's selling them bad
This
boys
is your
on the black
Exergen
market.
Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN.
I don't know what a
Asheville.
used cup gets nowadays, but
Coach
they're
81
disappearing at an alarmingly high rate.
There may be an occasional shower thunderstorm. That'll also be the case early this evening, and then cloudy with areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60. A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially before a few afternoon thunderstorms develop, and the high hits 85. And then rain will increase in coverage through Wednesday afternoon with showers and thunderstorms at times, and a high temperature eventually hitting the low 80s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bug Out.
Say goodbye to pests with Bug Out. With over 60 years of experience, our expert technicians are equipped with innovative products, personalized service, and put our customers first. Choose year-round pest protection with Bug Out. Get a free quote by visiting bugoutservice.com today.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Real Fun Beach Radio. Real Fun Beach Radio gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. Just open the app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio, specifically audio influencers.
Audio has been a key component for us. Our consumer is omni-channel, so we need to be omni-channel. We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving
Whoa, Chiefs Nation. Come on, man.
video. I think using the audio influencers has been a huge component for us. Working with iHeart, we were able to really tease out the audio influencers in key markets that were authentic Chipotle fans. And because it's authentic and because they're seen as trusted friends by the customers and the listeners, it's really been an effective strategy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. You can listen to us live or on demand. And you can watch us live or on demand on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on the top pass-catching trios in the NFL. Jeremy, we've as part of the summer scouting series here, we've been talking one NFL group per day, one college group per day. So in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to do, or excuse me, dang it, in the 2 o'clock hour, we're going to be doing. I even got the hour wrong.
I was about to say it's only been a year.
Yeah, in the 2 o'clock hour, we are going to be talking about the best corners in the upcoming draft class. But pass-catching trios in the NFL, since we're talking about Justin Jefferson getting $1 gajillion. Does he put Minnesota on the list for you, just by himself?
Oh, he and T.J. Hawkinson do. I mean, they're on the list, but they're not nearly as high for me as they would be for I found an article, it's from PFF, or not PFF, PFT, Pro Football Talk, where
Okay.
Chris Sims and Mike Florio went back and forth, and they had the Vikings at 4, and that to me is ludicrously stupid.
That is pretty high. But that depends on how much you believe in Jordan Addison, excuse me.
I don't care if you think he is the next great little tiny USC receiver. There are 5. The top 5 for me is the easiest thing I think I've ever put together in my life.
Okay.
Number 1's the Houston Texans. It's not even close. There's nobody even in their ballpark.
Really? Okay.
Who do you think is even close?
Chicago.
That's my 2. So you at least chose correctly, but let me ask you this question. The number 1 in Chicago is who?
DJ Moore.
Okay, I have Stephon Diggs. He's better. The 2 in Chicago is who?
Keenan Allen.
Oh, mine's Nico Collins. Mine's better. I win that one too. The 3 is who?
He's younger. I don't know about better.
He's better. Keenan Allen's 32 years old. Nico was, 4th in the league in receiving yards last year? He's your 2.
Something like that.
So now he gets number 2 coverage as well. Oh, and by the way, I haven't mentioned Tank Dell, who's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't mentioned John Mechie, who's the 4, and probably the best 4 in the history of the NFL. Robert Woods is there somewhere to throw a block every now and again. Noah Brown. I hadn't even mentioned Noah Brown. Oh, and I have a top 8 in the league tight end as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's receiving core is not fair. It's just, how did we let you do this? I pull for a team that is arguably
how that happened, right?
I pull for a team that is arguably one of the 2 best defenses in the league, probably the best secondary in the league. I have no idea how we would defend you. Zone. Let's play a lot of zone, boys. So we get to that 4th corner, and I don't love that matchup. Or I get Dalton Schultz on a linebacker. Ugh.
All right, Houston is far and away your number 1.
They are free and clear. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even listen on anybody else. I would go full Democrat and just put my fingers in my ears and go, I'm right and you're wrong. No. Not doing it.
Not doing it.
I will not listen to your facts. I will not listen to your opinions. I'm just right, and we're moving on.
It is shocking how quickly that all turned. We went from Robert Woods, a banged-up Robert Woods, and Brandon Cooks and who was the tight end at that time? Was that just when Brevin Jordan was a rookie?
Brevin was a rookie.
He was the only one.
Oh, they had a slew of tight ends. I'm trying to think now who it even was. There's a name that's like right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of who it was.
Yeah. But anyway, it's amazing how a couple of years can change. One big move with the Buffalo Bills and a couple of great drafts.
Well, yes, that's true, but you also have to look at the perception. All right, so I want to tie this into something Andrew Ayers said in the YouTube chat, which was, and I'm trying to find it. I'm sick of hearing that the argument from everyone that, the Chiefs do this and that. They have Pat Mahomes. Not all teams can do what they do. Super Bowl stats a little skewed because Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes won so many. Yeah, think about that. Weird. You have 2, I would argue, probably 2 greatest quarterbacks ever lived. Mm-hmm. Yep. They've won a whole mess of Super Bowls. There's reason for that. But if you look at Houston, I'm not saying you have to have Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady to do that. C.J. Stroud completely changed the way we look at Nico Collins, completely changed the way we look at Dalton Schultz, completely changed the way that we look at Noah Brown. C.J. Stroud's not Pat Mahomes. He's in the ballpark. Josh Allen changed the way we talked about Stephon Diggs. Nobody said he was a top 5 receiver in the NFL till he got Josh Allen. I'm not saying that you could go.
Josh Allen was a top 3 quarterback in the NFL till he got Stephon Diggs.
Exactly, and that kind of gets into the chicken and egg argument. Right. I'm not saying that you should replace elite receivers with 4 dudes you found at Lowe's. Well, what I am saying is the idea that I need to pay $35 million to a receiver when I'm not any good. I mean, it's not going to make you good. One guy is not going to change anything, because I got news for you. Every team in the NFL, except, ironically enough, the Minnesota Vikings, have one corner that can not shut down Justin Jefferson, but they can mitigate him. He's not going for 245 against everybody. And if you don't have somebody that can take that safety off of him, I can double him.
So Chicago is the 2?
Chicago is my 2, yes.
DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze.
It's fantastic.
Where does
it's
Rome
beautiful.
Odunze step in for you? As a rookie, top what receiver in this league? Ceiling.
Ceiling?
Yeah, for this
Top
year.
20. I would say he probably sits more around that 30 range, but I don't need him to be. I need him to be a really good real-life talent. Rome Odunze might fall into that fantasy footballification of the world, that his stat line's not going to look all that impressive, but then you look at Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, and they both went over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Yeah, a lot of that was because of Rome Odunze. I mean, you have a guy that can beat you that consistently over the top, and look, you're not going to have 4 great stat lines.
No. But you got a lot of potential for the future.
And I also have to clarify. I have to clarify something I said, because I'm getting a lot of hate in the chat.
Oh, the Nico Collins thing.
Nico Collins is a better receiver right now than Keenan Allen, because he can do more. Keenan is going to be asked to play in the slot. He's had injury issues. I'm not saying that Nico's going to have a better career. I'm talking about right now at age 32. Hey, give me the list of receivers that are 32 years old that are still relevant in the NFL. Oh, it doesn't take you real long to get to the end of that list. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying Nico Collins was indefensible as a 1. He had 1,200 yards last year. That wasn't a shot at Keenan Allen. It was just, if I had to take one of them for the next 3 years, I will happily take Nico right now, and I wouldn't think about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure Keenan's got 3 years left in him.
I'd take him for this year. Now, I like the situation that Keenan's in. I think he's a perfect fit. And I'll be honest with you, Keenan Allen should be really happy that Chicago was the team that jumped up and snagged him in a deal. Because the other 2 I heard were Houston and the Jets. And I like Keenan Allen exponentially better in Chicago than I like him with the other 2. Because I want Keenan Allen playing the slot. Exclusively, I'm never putting him on the outside. He will run out of the slot, and he is going to annihilate small little slot corners. And I think he's great at it.
Who's your 3? Talking trios of pass catchers across the NFL.
This is where it got a little bit harder for me. So I'm going to ask you, who is your 3? I'm assuming you had Houston and Chicago were your 1, 2?
Yes.
Did you have them in the same order?
No, Chicago was my 1.
Okay.
Houston was my 2. Because I went at it from, we're just talking trios. I think Chicago's 3 are slightly better than Houston's 3. If we were going full groups, Houston's 1, and it's not close. As you said. If I get to throw in Dalton Schultz and Noah Brown and all those guys, yeah, Houston's got them beat massively.
All right, so who's your 3?
San Francisco's my 3.
They were my 5.
Okay, who was your 3?
It was really close, but I'm still taking Cincinnati.
Okay.
I get who I think is the best receiver in the NFL. I think T. Higgins is a top 15 receiver in the NFL. But who's 3? I don't care. Andre Iashivas, Trenton Irwin, Mike Gesicki.
That's my
care.
problem with that group.
Because where I fall in with San Francisco, and San Francisco they were up there for me. Seattle was my 4.
Okay.
With DK, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with San Francisco is one of them is hurt literally all the time. So I never see the three of them together. I get hurt Debo, Ayuk goes crazy, then Debo comes back, Kittle gets hurt. And so I couldn't have them. I couldn't have them. Now, I get why you do. If we're just talking sheer talent, then you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jamar and T. Higgins exponentially better than Debo or Brandon Ayuk.
And can I not use CMC as my 3?
No, he's a running back.
All that work that he gets in the passing game.
Oh, hey, you want to put your thumb on the scale and use CMC? Okay. Because that probably makes you right.
Our first, that's our first test scenario of do we lump receiving backs into this? Because that can change some of these threes. San Francisco's one. Could. With Kittle, it's closer. You throw CMC in there, it ain't close. Between them and Cincinnati.
For me, there's only one team in the NFL. I have exactly one team in the NFL where I can say I have 2 top 15 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's close that I haven't said yet, and the reason is because I get to 3 and go, who's next? Who's your 3 now?
Yep. Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Mike Gesicki, I guess would be the technical third option.
That was who I put as the 3.
Yeah.
I also considered Jermaine Burton
for me. Yeah. Without taking a snap, though, I think I got to give the nod to the veteran on his team.
Now, how low did you have Seattle?
I didn't really number them, so they're on the list.
This is probably a great time for me to say.
High, though. They weren't up there real high.
This is a great time for me to say that Jackson Smith and Jigba will probably be on 95% of fantasy football teams that I do this year.
This is the breakout year?
I think so. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't see any path that Tyler Lockett is on this team next year. Not this upcoming year, but the following. And I think they have to get Jackson Smith and Jigba acclimated, and I saw enough out of Jake Bobo that I think he can be the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could easily see a path that by the end of this year you're looking at JSN as the 2 and Lockett as the 3. I really liked what I saw from Jackson Smith and Jigba towards the end of the year.
He is a great talent. We just waiting for that breakthrough, and maybe this is the year for that. So Houston at 1, top trios in the NFL, top pass catching trios in the NFL. Houston at 1, Chicago 2, Cincinnati 3, Seattle and San Francisco rounding out the top 5. We'll take a quick break and we'll continue the ranking after this on ESPN Asheville.
And the best artist with the best new scratch.
And clear.
Thank you.
First Tuesday!
I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Is credit card debt weighing you down? Are you losing sleep at night worrying about how much you owe? Have you ever used one credit card to pay off another credit card, just prolonging the problem? You're not alone. Half of all Americans are dealing with troubling credit card debt. But there is an answer. Zero Debt USA has proven strategies to eliminate that troubling credit card interest and get you out of debt fast. They can often get your monthly payment down to less than half of what you're currently paying. Work with a company that can help. Visit ZeroDebtUSA.com. Again, ZeroDebtUSA.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save, because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com.
30 seconds.
Some apparel shops.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality, fresh
You there?
family table,
Yes,
it's a
sir.
way for us to support the amazing individuals.
Sorry, didn't realize my mic was muted.
You're good.
Very best.
Just want to make sure I didn't lose you.
Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville, and this is the Sportsocracy. Top trios in the NFL. The best pass-catching trios across the league. No running backs included, correct?
That was the way I went, but
Okay.
you did put your finger on the scale to justify your 49ers at 3, and I could not tell you were wrong.
Wide receivers, tight ends. Who has the best trios? We're up to number 6. And is this the Miami Dolphins?
It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
A.J. Brown's a top 20 guy. Devontae Smith's a top A.J. Brown's a top 10 guy. Devontae Smith's a top 20 guy. Mm-hmm. It's where Dallas Goedert is where I got to and went, I've never loved him. To me, he is like the high end of the dude territory.
Okay. Not the bottom of the elite territory.
Yeah, I just don't see him that way.
Okay. He's a tweener for me.
We have a super chat that needs to be immediately addressed.
All right.
Remo Suave, that's a new name. We appreciate you. He said, I think Jeremy got Casey and JoJo confused with Casey and the Sunshine Band, because Casey and JoJo are not one-hit wonders. They're still touring to this day. If you had bet me, because I knew exactly what I was talking about, I did not know that. I am mystified by that, and now I want nothing more than to take HWA for a Casey and JoJo concert somewhere where I will ignore every song they do until all my life hits. And then I'm going to look at her like it's 7th grade dance time and give that eye of, you know what's up.
Oh, yeah.
You
hands on the hips, just swaying back and forth.
No doubt. We're going hip to hip here, baby boo. Let's do this.
All my life. I had not thought about that song in a long time.
Anybody our age that didn't put that on a mixtape, that person can't be friends with me.
No.
If you didn't use that song to take no less than 15 swings at girls you went to high school with, you weren't bringing that A game, bro.
I still have to confirm this. Casey and JoJo are touring.
If you tell me there is a date anywhere near any game we go on that we go on this tour, we are going to that show.
No upcoming shows on anything I click on. So maybe they were. They are not currently.
I need somebody to call Casey and JoJo and get them to book a date. We call Corey Short at Silverados. I need him to get on booking them at Silverados right now. And I'll be there with bells on.
Oh, Jodeci. Wait, here we go. Jodeci. They are, they're on tour.
So is that who Casey and JoJo jumped in with?
Yeah, I guess so. They will be in Greenville, South Carolina at the Peace Center on July the 19th.
I'm already there. I just go ahead and tell you. I don't know what day that is.
What a ticket costs for this thing.
$8. I already paid it. Let's go.
Ha! Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good luck with that. Front orchestra at the Peace Center. Name that ticket.
I don't need front orchestra. I need to be in the building. I need to be in the building. Preferably close to an exit.
Balcony seat, cheapest ticket.
$35.
Higher.
Okay, maybe I'm not there.
It's $75 for the cheapest ticket in the house.
Oh, that would
You're
be
insane. Front orchestra tickets, $145. I would not give you 145 cents to go see Jodeci.
Oh, I would.
In 2024.
I would, solely because I know the last song is going to be All My Life. Basically, no good can come from what I'm getting ready to say, so I think we should move on. But you can assume what I was getting ready to say. I don't think it takes a rocket surgeon to figure out where I was headed with that.
Yeah. Okay.
How much would I pay for a no doubt enjoyable evening? I think I could get to $150. I believe I could get there.
I cannot.
You'll know if Amy went directly back to the office, because if not, you're going to hear a gunshot in about 10 minutes, and it's going to be the end of Jeremy.
Yes. No Casey and JoJo slander for the sports.
No, loved them.
Reprehensibles, apparently.
No, still love them. That's, to me, is top 5 greatest love song of all time.
Wait, no, you were throwing shade. Don't try to claim that now. You were throwing shade.
I was throwing shade at the rest of the career, not at that song.
Okay.
Let's be really honest here. There are a lot of groups that I could go, you had that one. And then the rest of it, I didn't say it was bad. It just wasn't as popular.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Drake's had 48 number ones, which is why current music is stupid. And that's how Jeremy feels.
All right. The Philadelphia Eagles, we have them at 6 in the top trios of pass catchers in the league. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. That would get better for me again if you could toss Saquon in there instead.
Yeah, look, for the Philadelphia Eagles, to tie the two topics together, the Philadelphia Eagles are the Casey and JoJo of NFL receiving corps. Because you got those two that are making just all that baby making music. And then you get to 3 and you go, are you sure? I'm not so sure. So we got the beautiful duet of Devontae and AJ, and then Dallas Goedert, who's over here looking like a dude that he played All My Life at a truck stop one time.
At number 7.
Kelvin Joyner just challenged you to name 5 Casey and JoJo songs, and you can't use All My Life.
No, I can't do that.
I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, I'm not even saying I'm not sure. I know definitively I could not do that.
No, I could not do that. Casey and JoJo was just the first pop band from the 90s to pop in my head when I said that.
Hey, look.
I could have gone a number of levels. Somebody mentioned 112 in the YouTube chat. That would have been a good one. All for One. I could have gone that route.
Well, my only excuse for not knowing any other Casey and JoJo songs is that all I needed was All My Life, and Save was on the board. Self 5, let's go. Coffee closers, take mine with 2 creams. Let's go. Moving on, number 7.
Number 7 top trios for 2024 in the NFL.
For me, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. I get a top 5 receiver. I get Jacoby Myers, who I think is a top 25, top 30 receiver, and then I get Brock Bowers, who might be a top 5 tight end.
Very well could be.
Oh, and I didn't even say Michael Mayer, who he's here doing stuff too.
That he is.
You know I love Trevor Sikkema. He chose him as the number 1 breakout fantasy football player of 2024. I still haven't gotten the blood out of my chair from where it came pouring out of my ear as soon as he said that.
Who, Michael Mayer?
Yes.
That he's the breakout player of the year?
Yep. And I went, look, Trevor, not only are you better looking than me, you're exponentially smarter than me, but I need you to explain that to me. And I mean, I need you to talk to me like I'm 4 years old. I love Michael Mayer. You know that. But you just became an ancillary. You became the backup singer of the Las Vegas Raiders in just one draft pick.
Yes. Unfortunately, you're no longer the best tight end on your own team. So I don't know how that's going to get better.
And let me just go ahead and say the Miami Dolphins are my next one. You want to know why they're so low? Name me their 3.
OBJ.
End of message. Congratulations.
That's all you got. You got Jaylen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Awesome. You got 2 top 15 wide receivers. Sweet.
Yeah, I at least have upside with with the Bengals of what Mike Gesicki could be, because I have seen him be an elite tight end in the past, being used in a role much like he will be in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
With the Dolphins, you don't have a tight end that belongs in the NFL. Your third receiver is OBJ, and when he gets hurt in week 2, and he's gonna, you get to River Craycraft. Okay, then.
Need a little bit more depth. Problem is, I'm already spending all my money on the first 2. Well, I guess the money hasn't kicked in for Jaylen Waddle yet. But
well, I mean, I also have the problem of those 2 are really, really, really fast. Awesome. As soon as it gets cold, I've watched you get completely mitigated. It slows down. Turf gets hard, you slow down, and all of a sudden you can't move the ball anymore.
Yep.
And it's not new information. It worked in Kansas City because he had Travis Kelce too. It's a team of speedsters. I don't care. This is I've never seen a team go this hard into it, but this is not new information. I've seen teams try to be fast before.
Mm-hmm.
Works great in September. You know, when it's 75 degrees outside, good luck. But then you get to January, you know, in those games that matter.
Speed doesn't translate well in the cold. It's hard to run on ice. Philadelphia, Las Vegas, Miami, 6 through 8 in the top 20 or the top 13 pass catching trios for 2024. We'll pick it up with number 9 when we return.
This is your Exergen
Clear.
Cast on ESPN.
I know somebody's getting ready to say that I just hate the Dolphins, and I would love to tell them they're wrong,
cloudy sky.
but they're
There
not.
may be an occasional shower thunderstorm. That'll also be the case early this evening. With areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60. A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially.
And it's not because of the team.
Thunderstorms develop.
It's because of the way the team is built.
And then rain will increase in coverage through Wednesday afternoon with showers and thunderstorms at times and a high temperature eventually hitting the low 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay
I'm
Guaranteed
seriously
Fit,
going to
they're
that Casey and
guaranteed to
JoJo
fix
show.
your ride the
That's
first time
happening.
every time or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'll go for free if they'll move the show to my house.
Stage. Our legendary
I believe that's going to be a no from them, dog.
Music Festival, presented by Capital One, returns.
Re-entering the Las Vegas atmosphere this September. Stream live only on Hulu.
Be here as our 20...
Oh, Stephen Town wants to know. I had the Raiders trio at 27.
Tomorrow morning at 8.
That sounds
If
about
you
right for you.
snore or you're not breathing adequately at night, and we all need a good night's sleep. A custom oral sleep appliance is perfect for people
Do you
who
have a
can't
weird
use
story?
CPAP for their obstructive sleep apnea. And if you have that prescription for an oral appliance from your physician, you can take it to Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, and they will do the rest. If you've not yet been diagnosed,
I will.
maybe you think you have it, then Dr. Merrill is happy to help you out with a free sleep apnea screening. Find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire. And this season's so hot, the entire track will be blazing. This weekend, Tony Stewart, John Force, and more rumble the mountaintops when the Super Grip NHLA Thunder Valley Nationals light up Bristol Dragway. Be a part of the action and get your tickets at BristolDragway.com. With free parking and general admission for kids 12 and under. Super Grip NHLA Thunder Valley Nationals this weekend. Get your tickets today.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest, semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. 28-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. Jeremy, graduation time. When you graduated from high school, did you do something stupid at graduation? Did you pull a prank at walking across the stage or anything like that?
I walked across the stage wearing lipstick that was not put on me of my own volition. No, I will not tell you the story. That is all you're getting. So
what?
Yeah. It was a long weekend, bro.
Like full on the lipstick. Like,
I did the best
like
I could.
Made up, or
I did the best I could. It could not all be dealt with.
Removed. Yeah, I got you. Huh? That's
so. Did I pull a prank at graduation?
Intentional.
No, it was not intentional.
Right.
And there are still no less than 4 people who I owe one to, and I'm playing long con on this one.
Well, I mean, this is something that, the class clowns typically do, something walking across the stage. We had several of them. We had one guy that walked across naked. He threatened to show things, but he did not. He just thought it would suffice to be naked under his gown and then just tell us he's naked.
It's not a prank though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to wear those things that way.
When I walked across the stage, I fake movie kissed my teacher, which was hilarious.
Yeah, it sounds like a laugh riot.
Oh, it was great. It was great. You'd have laughed if you were there. Here's a story from Boonesboro High School where a girl shows up to her graduation. She is an aspiring makeup artist, and she shows up. The only way I can describe what her face looks like is the cross between a mime and a kabuki mask. You know what a kabuki mask is? The Japanese,
yes,
weird like theatrical masks. That's what her face looks like. So she shows up, cap and gown, hair all done, kind of. She's got like a giant silver bolt sticking through her nose, and her face is completely like white kabuki masked with black lipstick, eyeliner. Like, it looks like she's preparing for a performance of some kind of a play or something. They kicked her out of her graduation, told her she could not walk unless she was going to wipe it off her face. And guess what's happening now? She's suing.
You beat me to it.
Of course. Of course she is. Of course she's suing because they wouldn't let her walk across the stage. She's being singled out for her creativity, she says.
Is there a? I want to pitch an idea. All right, and I don't know who in government that I need to get on board with this. I don't know. Is there a possibility that we could enact a law where some things are so stupid that a judge can just hit a button and they disappear into the floor? Like, the minute you tell me this case, I just hit a button and go, nope, too stupid. And you get you slide down the tunnel and you wind up outside. Like, yep, didn't even need you to go back through security. You're fine. Just go on about your stupid life.
Yeah. Just, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to look presentable these days. That's all I ask. Just a little decorum. I don't feel like it's too much to ask.
As somebody that has some elderly people in my family, and I've been around those people for the last handful of days, there's going to come a time in my life where I just decide to do the most outlandish thing I can do, and I'm going to wear. I fully believe there will come a moo Jeremy phase, a moo mullet phase is coming, where I just leave my house wearing a very oversized nightgown, and that's all I wear. There is a new problem, and it's plaguing U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And you may think, well, we've been talking about this forever. Of course it is. We need to do something about it. Well, no, this is a new problem. Something that's getting into the country at an alarmingly high rate. What do you think I'm talking about?
No clue.
Counterfeit championship rings. The Port of Cincinnati seized a massive shipment of counterfeit championship rings over the weekend. 18 different sports teams, 345 rings in total. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm quite bougie when it comes to jewelry. I don't like fake crap. I'd have never known the difference. There is a Laker replica, whatever. I don't even know what these things are made out of. I would have bet anything. If you walked in wearing that, I would swear it was real. It is one of the best facsimiles I've ever seen. Now, there is a Patriot ring that is, to me, very obviously fake. What do you think the worth of those rings would be if they were real? If they were genuine, what would they be worth?
Oh, good Lord.
You're going to do that Brady Quinn thing where you say an astronomical number because it's not that high.
Yeah, I was going to say like $2 million.
$1.3 million. And apparently it's not the first time. Apparently it's not the first time that Customs has found one of these bags and just they think it's strange, so they pull them off and then they have them tested and they realize, nope, these are all crap. I mean, they have the insignia, they have everything. The gold looks a little tacky. So there's I think that's the second Chiefs ring. It's pretty obviously fake. But some of these are mind-bogglingly realistic looking.
Yep. So know your sources, I guess, if you're going to be buying major memorabilia like that.
So if you were if there was a Red Sox ring in there,
yes,
would you wear it? You found one. It's fake. Would you wear it?
No.
You're not a ring guy.
Wait. I know it's fake?
Yes.
Then, yeah, I would wear it.
Hold on. Back to truth trolley.
I would probably wear it. Special occasion.
You would wear it knowing it was fake.
Yeah.
But if you didn't think it was fake, you wouldn't wear it.
No, if I thought it was real, no, that's going in a safety deposit box somewhere. It'll never see the light of day. Nobody will ever see it.
If somehow I ever end up on a team and we win a Super Bowl ring, I'm telling you right now, I want that to be the biggest, gaudiest thing. I will get it in the size of my wristwatch. I will wear that bad boy across 3 fingers. I don't care.
Playing on the team's a little different.
Oh, I wouldn't touch one of these. Having not won it, no, I'm good. No, I want my own.
You wouldn't even want to own it?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you can, Jets win the Super Bowl this year. Hey, I've got you a ring. You wouldn't buy it? You wouldn't want it? Just to have it?
Oh, depends on who gave it to me. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers called me and said, hey, thanks for holding up the mantle, bro. Yeah, I'm going to wear that thing like I was playing nose guard. And trust me, when I tell that story, I'm going to be way more involved than people think.
Right. No, just something like Sloan Jordan called you and was like, hey, man, I found 2 of these rings. You want one?
Nope.
You're just out.
Out.
Really? Okay.
No, I want to win a real one. That has literally been my lifelong goal my entire life.
That ship has sailed.
You never know.
Winning okay, so one day if you got a job as a scout or something for a team, sure, that window would still be open. I'm just saying you're not competing for one.
Oh, no, the competing and winning one of those, that window closed at about 4. So
a long time ago.
I mean, mine stayed open longer than yours, but not by much.
Yeah, no, just a few years.
Your window was painted shut.
It was. At birth. Before that, actually, God was putting me together in heaven and went, yep, that's not going to be an athlete. There you go. We're going to make him kind of funny and be able to talk okay.
We're going to give him the ability to run radio buttons.
Exactly. Anyhow. What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. The top pass-catching trios in the NFL for the upcoming season. We're up to number 9. The Miami Dolphins were at 8. Who comes in just after the Fins?
The Los Angeles Rams. And
Cooper Kupp,
and the reason that I denigrate them is probably not the same reason that a lot of people would think.
Okay.
I trust Cooper Kupp about as far as I can throw him at this point. He's had so many health problems that, yeah, he's dynamic when he's on the field. I just don't trust that that's going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, what is he, 31?
Yes.
I
believe that is correct.
I mean, Demarcus Robinson's fine, I guess, as a 3. Puka, I think, is really, I think he's special.
Is Demarcus Robinson even the 3rd best receiver on that team?
Yeah, they paid him
I think
in
I
a way
like Tutu Atwell back.
Yeah, they paid Demarcus Robinson like they believe in him way more than they should.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they had just re-signed him.
Which I don't in any way understand, but I mean, he's fine. He's far better than the 3 that Miami has.
Mm-hmm.
But I like their 2 better than I like your 2.
Cooper Kupp has missed quite a few games in the last couple of seasons.
He just always seems to be, something always seems to be nagging with him.
Mm-hmm. But again, when he's on the field, he's one of the best in the league. Puka Nacua showing last year that he's got the potential to be one of the best in the league. And I don't know, before I would get to Demarcus Robinson, I think I like Tyler Higbee better as the 3. But either way you go, it's a massive drop-off after 1 and 2.
No doubt. But your 1 and 2 are very, very good.
Yes. Number 10.
The Tennessee Titans.
It's hard to believe that a team that I don't believe is going to win very many games at all.
Their schedule is evil.
How do they have one of the best trios of receivers? Well, it was a pretty good offseason.
Oh, no doubt. DeAndre Hopkins is a top what receiver?
12.
I would have said 15, but Calvin Ridley is a top what receiver?
20.
I would have said 20.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd's a top 50.
Agreed.
And here we are.
Yep.
I originally had them lower than, or I had Tennessee lower, and it seemed like every time I looked at that list, I went, I like them better than blank. And they just kept creeping up.
Number 11.
The Detroit Lions. I love Amon-Ra. I love Sam Laporta. And then? Then what?
This is where I want you to put the running back in there.
Oh, yeah. If we can talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, we need to get them in the top 5. If we're talking about whoever the third pass catcher is, shoo, buddy.
Yes, they were my 5. If you could add running backs, they're my 5. Without it, I go Khalif Raymond.
Ugh.
Yay! He's good for a play every third week or so.
And then you get into like Jamison Williams. Oh.
Yeah. Just unproven. A lot of talent there, but
is he unproven, or has it been proven to just not be very good?
I mean, is it? He's played what, like 16 games? Ain't even played a full season yet?
That sounds right.
I mean, the first year he played 1 game. Didn't he come back for 1 game at the end of the year?
Yes.
Oh, no, he played 6 games. I guess he had some starts early in the season before he got hurt.
He has played 18 games in his career. He has 25 catches for 395 yards.
Yeah, see, that's not good.
That is awful. It's even worse when you consider I think he had a 100-yard game in there somewhere.
I believe you're right.
Oh, that is brutal. I mean, just look at the receivers that have been drafted to the top 15 or 20 in the last handful of years. And just, I said Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jamison Williams. Eesh.
Didn't go well.
Hey, things are getting way better in Detroit. This is the golden age of being a Detroit Lion fan. By God, that inability to draft a wide receiver has hung around. Now, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and other than that,
at number 12.
This is where I put Minnesota. T.J. Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
Mm-hmm.
1 elite, 2. Yeah.
Yeah. What did John? Your T.J. Hawkinson derision is. I think he's an elite tight end.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
He's like Dallas Goedert. He's at the bottom of the elite tier.
I don't disagree with what you just said.
Okay.
I don't think either one of them are elite, which is why I don't put them in the elite tier.
Gotcha.
I mean, you just name me the elite tight ends in this league. Travis Kelce, light years better than either of the two you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Andrews, light years better than either of the two you just said. George Kittle, when he's healthy, light years better than any of the two you just said. Hell, I'll go one step further. Kyle Pitts is light years ahead of those two in terms of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Kyle Pitts ahead of those two any day of the week. T.J. Hawkinson and Dallas Goedert both have a problem of neither one of them is special athletically. If they had played in the 90s, you would be right. This ain't the 90s. That's why they disappear for extended periods of time, and you forget they're on the team for a month.
Yep.
But then you catch that one matchup where somebody goes, hey, let me put this little teeny tiny safety on T.J. Hawkinson, and he goes 14 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right, and finally, number 13.
I had a tie.
Okay.
My team and your team.
I was wondering if you were going to get my team in there.
If I had to pick one, it would be yours. And maybe it's that I hear way too much from the Jets because I'm, I do stuff with that team, and they've made me believe that Malachi Corley is actually as good as I think he is.
It's hard not to, but with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, that's a great 1 and 2 to start with.
Yours would win. I just don't know who your third is. If I could take Rachaad White, okay. Now you should have been way higher than you are.
It's Trey Palmer.
I think you're right.
3. He came on at the end of that's one of those that I'm looking for a breakout year for Trey Palmer.
The only thing that I would tell you that would worry me about that is it seems like every time Tampa Bay has that third guy and you go, hey, there he is, they disappear off the face of the earth.
Oh, yeah, we screw it up. Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson's he was the first. He was when I really started to notice it. Mm-hmm. And then he bounced around the league like a ping pong ball, and everybody hated him.
That is true. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, those are two where you have Chris Godwin, top 25.
Godwin's top 25, Mike Evans top 10-ish.
Yeah.
I can't say his good's top 5. Then he has weeks where Mike Evans is a bit of a head case.
Only when he plays Marshawn Lattimore.
That doesn't tend to go well. And then he has games where Baker Mayfield drives him crazy and he takes himself out.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Just 13 seconds on because we mentioned my team. How many receivers in the NFL would you take over Garrett Wilson right now? I got into this argument with somebody on Twitter the other day, and I think I disagree with myself.
I don't know, like 5 to 7.
I said 6, and I've been looking at that list going, I'm not so sure that it's not less than that.
Really?
He's never had a quarterback. He had a quarterback for 4 snaps.
Right.
It never even had a ball thrown his way. I also did just watch a full Jet practice, and I don't think the best defense one of the best defenses in the league even came close to him. He was embarrassing people.
Got a lot to look forward to there in New York. My team, it's just another. It's going to be a fun year to watch. Yeah, everybody else who's competing for a title. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Nashville.
And we're clear.
Google reviews. One patient writes, I'll start by saying, going to the dentist. My anxiety is always through the roof, and I'm always so nervous. However, Summit Dental may be the first place that my anxiety is actually not going through the roof. The staff.
Were there any teams there that we didn't talk about that we need to talk about on the backside?
I left feeling confident that we have a plan to help restore my teeth and get me on track to a better smile. Find out more about Summit Dental at
Cleveland, Atlanta, New Orleans were the only others honorable mentions I had.
All right, let's come back with that.
30th, Orange Peel Events presents Chevelle.
The others receiving votes.
Get your tickets now online.
Okay.
orangepeel.net. Don't miss Chevelle live July 30th at the Rapid.
As the nation's leader in using orthobiologics to deal with joint pain, QC Kinetics has treated tens of thousands of patients. For many of them, that treatment comes with a plan to lose weight, as we know that keeping a healthy weight puts less strain on your joints. So, now to help patients lose weight in the fastest and most effective way, QC Kinetics is excited to offer newly approved injectables for those who qualify. If your weight is keeping you from living your best life, call QC Kinetics now and learn more about these next-generation weight loss options, including semaglutide and tirzepatide. Even if you're looking to look better and feel better by getting back to your ideal weight, call the medical professionals at QC Kinetics to see if you qualify for these revolutionary and effective treatments. QC is making these amazing options accessible and affordable, and it starts with a free consultation. Call 833-QCK-SLIM to get yours today. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year, we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today will approach 81 under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. There may be an occasional shower thunderstorm. That'll also be the case early this evening, and then cloudy with areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60. A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially before a few afternoon thunderstorms develop, and the high hits 85. And then rain will increase in coverage through Wednesday afternoon with showers and thunderstorms at times, and a high temperature eventually hitting the low 80s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans! The ultimate cookie blizzard treat is the dessert that has it all. With Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter, this blizzard treat has everything cookie lovers dream of. Don't wait. This one-of-a-kind confection won't be here long. Only at participating DQ.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
Wow. I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate.
Is this a good time to mention that the habanero barbecue Blue Diamond almonds are the greatest thing that's ever been invented?
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance...
You love them.
...and provide expert advice.
I literally keep a 10 on my desk now just for anytime I feel a hunger pain.
Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Did you check out Kelvin Joyner's trade in the
local
Discord?
And there's number 4.
From the Ingalls
I didn't
studio,
see it, but I'll
this
look
is
now.
ESPN.
Yeah, give him your thoughts.
225 Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel once you're there to YouTube, and that way you can keep track of all of our doings on the YouTube channel. All of the lives are fireside chats. They're going to start up, this month? We're going to start doing the firesides there, Flostradamus?
Yes, we have to get the spank tank set up, or whatever we decided to call that.
Would you stop calling that? That's not the name of the home studio.
I'm going to get a sign that says it is, and then it will live forever. You have 2 13-year-old boys. Trust me, they're going to laugh.
They'll love it.
And then your wife is going to side with me because she will also think it's funny.
No, she'll hate it. She doesn't like it. I have 13-year-old boys, and so I have the mind of a 13-year-old boy too, and so I like to make 13-year-old boy jokes as well. She gets angry.
So what you're telling me is that you like it, but she's not going to, so you're trying to poop on it.
Yes.
Well,
I'm trying to.
You shouldn't have told me that.
Expectations.
You should have told me that because that makes me want to do it more now. So if you see some mulleted intruder breaking into your house that's about 6'5", don't shoot him because he's meek.
Yes. All right. Cleaning up from our top trios, pass-catching trios for 2024 in the NFL. Just had some honorable mention teams that we wanted to mention here before we get into the summer scouting, our latest position group looking ahead to the 2025 NFL draft class. Today we're going to talk corners in the college ranks. But before we do, honorable mention pass-catching trios in the league. The Cleveland Browns are on that list for me. With Amari Cooper, that puts you pretty high up there. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Jerry Jeudy, who's the 2, and then David Njoku, who's another one of those that I feel like is at the bottom of that elite tier of tight ends.
This was kind of my rule. If I couldn't figure out who your 3 were, if you didn't have 2 just bullets at 1 and 2, I didn't even consider you. Cleveland has a lot of pieces. Because you got to remember, they still have Cedric Tillman, they still have David Bell, and they added Jamari Thrash in the draft. I actually think that receiving corps is pretty good. I just can't boil it down to 3. Because I'm not sure who the second receiver would be. Njoku would definitely be the 2. But I'm not sure if I'd go Elijah Moore or if I'd go Jerry Jeudy. It's always a bad sign. But I do think they needed to be mentioned.
Okay. I also had Atlanta on my list. But really only if I can include the running back.
If you can include the run, okay. We didn't do this. If you could include the running back, would Atlanta be in your top 5? Because they would be mine.
I don't know about top 5, but they would be damn close. I'm just not, and I don't really. They would be right there with Detroit. So I would have Detroit at 5, and Atlanta would have to be like 6.
I would have Detroit up there really high. For me, the Texans and the Bears would still be 1, 2. I would probably bump the Seahawks up to 3 because I like Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Mm-hmm. Charbonnet is
but not
as
pass catchers.
Charbonnet's not bad.
Okay.
San Francisco would get bumped up. You're right. So Seattle probably stays where they were.
Yes.
The Eagles are, good Lord, that changes this list like almost completely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it changes a lot because you had Saquon for Philadelphia. You would have to add CMC for San Francisco, Breece Hall for New York. So then you got Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Breece Hall. That's top 7.
Yeah, we're preempted Wednesday by the Braves. We're doing run stuffers and rushers Thursday and Friday. I cannot wait to see your list of running backs because I think mine and yours are going to look wildly different.
Okay. Bijan for Atlanta, Jahmyr Gibbs for Detroit, and Alvin Kamara for New Orleans.
I see that's New Orleans is the team that would jump a lot for me.
Yes, and then you give me Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara.
I feel like I'm carrying the water for Alvin Kamara a lot.
What do you mean carrying the water?
Well, I don't understand why he gets pooed upon as often as he does. I've been gearing up for fantasy football stuff, and it seems like people are screwing with me. They're putting Alvin Kamara so low. I got one the other day. He wasn't in the top 20. And I'm talking top 20 running backs.
That's insane.
And this is from somebody whose opinion I respect a lot. And I asked him, did you forget Alvin Kamara? And he said, no, I didn't forget him. He was 22. Which to me, okay, like, did you take one too many COVID vaccines? Like,
well, I mean, it's what have you done for me lately, I guess?
I didn't even get a chuckle on that.
Sorry. That was funny. I'll give it to you. But it's what have you done for me lately? Last year was a bad year. And do I think that he's going to take the step down? Do I think that this year is going to be another step down? It's the only thing I can think. He's 28 years old, getting ready to turn 29. Has he passed that threshold? I can
don't
see how
think
for
so.
some people he would.
I don't think so.
Because he's at 1,820 carries.
Mm-hmm.
That's your line of demarcation usually for running backs. Is that 1,800 mark, isn't it?
2,500 touches. That's usually where it falls off a cliff. And with receptions, he's not there, but he's damn close, and he'll get there this year.
Mm-hmm. That he has. Any others that you wanted to mention? Those were all the ones that I had on my list.
New Orleans was the one that I really I hated that I couldn't get them on the list, but I couldn't put them over any of the teams that I did. Atlanta, I felt like needed to be mentioned.
Dallas Cowboys.
No. I mean, you got one. It's CeeDee Lamb and then what?
You got CeeDee and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. You like Brandon Cooks way better than I do.
I mean, he's a good too.
He's fine. And you get Jake. I mean, okay. You're right. They deserve to be mentioned. I wouldn't have them on the list.
No, they were not on my list. The first list that I made, I had wrote them down because I was going like, okay, let's start with all the top pass catchers. CeeDee Lamb's obviously top 5. So I start the list, and then I go, oh, I mean, now you got Brandon Cooks, and I do like Brandon Cooks, but he is getting older. And after that, I'm supposed to get all wild and crazy about Jake Ferguson?
Well, I mean, there's one that I think we very obviously left off, but I left them off for a reason. I don't know if you did.
Okay, who was that?
Green Bay Packers.
You have 3 solid choices for good receiver?
Oh, I could argue they have
don't know that you
6
have in
solid
week
choices. That's my problem. You don't have a 1. And look, I hear all these things that come out of Packer camp that Christian Watson had something about the knee and how he rehabbed it and now he's better than ever and he looks so great. That's all well and good. You've burned me twice because I believed in him 2 years in a row. I loved him coming out as a rookie because I had just gotten intoxicated by the tape and I thought they were going to manufacture his touches. Last year, I thought he was going to be the no doubt 1. You've been hurt. You've been inconsistent. This is the time that I ain't falling for it again. You can say everything you want to say. And look, I love him. I love Jaden Reed. I love Romeo Dobbs. I love Dontavian Wicks. I love the 2 tight ends, Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. But I don't see a 1 there. Like, if we were doing groups, they're in the top 7.
Yep.
But trios, I can't put you this high.
You don't qualify. You have to have a stud to qualify in the trios, and I don't think you have one yet. Romeo's close, but he's not elite.
The Green Bay Packers
look at Romeo Dobbs and go, oh, he's a top 25 receiver. No.
The Green Bay Packers are doing the exact same thing that the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. They're just doing it with draft picks.
Yep.
I'm going to throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. I'm going to be really deep. Because honestly, I even look at Bo Melton, Grant DeBose, who I liked coming out of Charlotte. The only problem is that I think in the 40 he runs about the same speed that I do. And Samori Toure. That's 3 more guys that may not even make the roster. And I like them quite a bit.
Packer fans love Samori Toure.
They should. I like him a lot.
There's a lot. I've seen a lot of that in the Packer fan groups.
Well, he's one of those players. He's had 3 years of hype, so it's the way that goes. You get that preseason hype train, the summer scouting hype train, and then we just keep doing it until you either bust out of the league or you actually hit.
Yep.
Red C in the chat asked about Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, and Greg Dortch. I would have taken out Greg Dortch and put in Michael Wilson.
I I was just getting ready to say that. Would the Arizona Cardinals need to be in consideration here?
They were in consideration for me.
Because Trey McBride is something special.
Trey McBride's a top 6 to 8 tight end in the league.
Yep.
And I think he may even he may take a star turn now that he's got a legit one. Well, I mean, you know how I felt about Hollywood Brown. I never thought he was a one. I have always thought he was better cast as an exclusive deep threat, a la the way Deshaun Jackson was built around in Philadelphia all those years ago. Right. MHJ's a legit one. The reason that I didn't put them on the list, I don't like when rookies have a lot of noise. I don't know that I've ever seen a rookie with more noise than Marvin Harrison Jr. I hate those guys their rookie year. I won't have him on a fantasy team anywhere. Not because I don't think he's good. I'm not sure your head's in the right place. And a lot of times you'll catch those guys and they have to be humbled before they really hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see him starting slower than you would expect.
Yeah, all of the contract talk and the signing of the deals, and it's been a lot of business talk.
Well, I heard all of this. I mean, and this goes all the way back to, I know I heard it at the Combine a lot, and I dismissed it as nothing. But then it didn't stop. And then we started getting things that I've never seen before. And so I really don't know how to handle it. And that was, I have them on, they're written down in the honorable mention, and I just kept writing question marks beside them because I don't know what to do with it. Yep. I believe in McBride. I like Michael Wilson. I think he could have a fantastic year. I'm just not real sure what it is you're getting in MHJ to start.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully Tez Walker can turn into a thing, and the Baltimore Ravens will make this list at some point.
Tez Walker could be as good as you thought he was, and I still don't think they make this list.
With Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers? That's not good enough to get them close to the list?
It probably is.
Yeah.
I'm just Rashad Bateman's. I think he's been in the league 22 years, and I believed in him every single one.
Yes.
We do need to talk about the Kelvin Joyner sent over a trade that you asked me about. I've had a chance to look at it.
Yes. You can always fire over your fantasy football questions, and Flostradamus will be willing to look at it. I mean, I will look at it as well, and I will even read it, but don't take my advice.
The gist of it was he gets Stephon Diggs in a whole mess of dart throws. Mm-hmm. He gives up Rachaad White and not much else. I would do that in a heartbeat and wouldn't even think about it.
Stephon Diggs, Tyler Boyd, Zach Moss, Chuba Hubbard, Khalil Shakir, and a second-round pick in 2025 for Curtis Samuel, Deontay Johnson, Rachaad White, and a 2025 third.
And Armchair, the Ocho, he also said the same thing. He is not chopped liver. I would probably take his fantasy advice over mine, to be honest with you.
Indeed. I did not I did not leave him out for on purpose. How about that? It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our summer scouting series here with ESPN draft nerd Jeremy Green, as we will look at the top corners for the 2025 NFL draft class.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agent.
Clear.
You're thinking, Comparion? Never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance Agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds.
That was Kool-Aid Shakir.
You and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, tells us about the advantages the speed of audio production affords their growing tech company.
At Moderna, we have a mindset saying that we pivot fearlessly. And I think with audio, you can pivot fearlessly. You can go where the news is and bringing in content that perhaps you didn't have a few weeks earlier. It's less 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance when you do a TBC. You're able to create really nimble content, which I think in this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers.
Where are we at time-wise? I just got a call about Haynes.
Not just a
minute and a half.
Okay.
Is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This summer, Dale, what did I say? Freedom. Freedom
no,
in fabric. Or
no real
fabric
new
freedom.
information, but I should
Denim
have something
Dale's
a little later.
available for a limited. All right. Box. Dale salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your dinner. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year, we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I'm Tank Spencer, live in the Ingalls studio. Flo Stradamus, Jeremy Green at ESPN Draft Nerd, live from Mullet Manor. Our summer scouting series continues here in the Sportsocracy as we are getting amped up for the biggest college football season, or biggest football season of our fan and broadcasting lives, with the Live in the Dream Tour. Our helpful sponsors, Ingalls Supermarkets, also our good friends over at Dale's Pale Ale, helping us out with the trip this year. Going to send us all across the Southeast and beyond in our trek to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Summer scouting is where it all starts, though, and we'll look at the best corners in this upcoming draft class, Jeremy.
This would be a good time to mention that starting Wednesday on our social medias, I will be putting out my top 100 going into the season. We'll do them from 100 to 1. We'll put them out in real form, and their bios will be up on the website nfldraft.net, which currently ties to our website, but will be tying to its own independent website in just a few days.
All right, who's the number one corner in this draft class?
You know the answer to that. It's Travis Hunter, and it's really not all that close. I get so irritated when I hear people say, well, what position's he going to play at the next level? Well, if he's not a moron, it's going to be corner, because he would be a top 25 receiver. He's a top 1 of 1 corner. Now, I'm not saying he can. This kind of reminds me of Charles Woodson when he came out. I'm not saying he's not good. He could get drafted as a receiver. He ain't going in the top 5 as a receiver. He's going in the top 5 as a corner. And I think even with the annoying things that come out of Deion Sanders, I still think he goes in the top. He's just too good. He reminds me, in terms of prospect, of Sauce Gardner. He is that level of cornerback prospect. The only thing that could burn him is that I think there are 2 more that they're not quite as good as him, but they have a lot of upside.
What is he best at?
I hate to cop out when you ask me that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything he can't do. The
So
problem,
cover, man, anything. He's not scheme specific.
No. I mean, he's better in man, but most corners that are this good are. But I don't think I wouldn't, if I ran a zone scheme, I wouldn't take a corner that high. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that gets put on an island immediately because he's got every physical tool. The only thing that bothers me a little bit about Travis Hunter is that he is, from a technique standpoint, he's oddly raw. To have been coached by one of the greatest corners that ever lived. Because he gets super lazy technique-wise. It has yet to really burn him. But there are times where a couple of the passes that got completed on him last year, he just got really lazy. And it was almost like he looked disinterested as the play happened. And then the ball gets thrown his way, and he's almost surprised that it was thrown at him. But in terms of you get his A game, you're not scoring on him. He has Darrelle Revis level upside. Does come with some headache, though.
All right, Travis Hunter, the number 1 corner in this class. And then, is there a giant leap to 2?
No. And to me, it's 2A and 2B. Will Johnson is my 2A. Kid out of Michigan, and I'm going to level. As of right now, he would go in my top 10, as would the other corner I'm getting ready to say. Mm-hmm. He's a better press man cover corner right now than Travis Hunter. I don't know that he has the potential. I'm sure you played the 2K games as a kid. Travis Hunter would be the guy getting A++ potential. If this could be a 99 at some point.
Right.
I don't know that Will Johnson will ever be there. I also think he may have the safest floor I've ever seen. If he lives up to none of the hype, he's still a number 1 corner in the NFL. And he's got great size. 6'2". I think if he were to run, he would run a formidable 40 time. I don't think you're ever going to see it.
Like 4.4 speed?
I think that's probably on the low side. I think he could actually run faster than that.
Really? Okay.
I love him. I mean, I have all 3 of these guys in the top 8.
Okay. Who's the 3?
Benjamin Morrison.
From Penn State.
Notre
from
Dame.
Notre Dame.
I think he probably has the highest upside of the 3. He also has the most absolutely terrifying floor because he can't tackle to save his life right now. He kind of reminds me of Deion at times because he will run away from contact. But, man, you see the good. Mm-hmm. And I've seen guys look like that because Benjamin Morrison's younger. He's just a sophomore. And I watch some of the things that I've seen him do. That kid is good. Just haven't seen a ton of it at this point. But, man, there is some just intoxicating in him. I know guys that have him as the number 1 corner in this class. I'm not ready to go that far. Because I don't think he has a complete game the way that Will Johnson and Travis Hunter do.
Mm-hmm.
But the upside, I understand how a team would fall in love with him. He's the guy that I start putting like the little smiley faces on top of their player profile just because I know how this is going to go. I've seen too many of these guys. It doesn't matter. He could get torched on a weekly basis. As long as he doesn't go full Kalen King next year, he'll still go in the top 15. He would have to get abused for somebody to not fall in love with him. Mm-hmm. Those guys scare me because they have a really high bust rate. The hit rate's not bad either. That's one of those you either get an A-plus prospect or you get a dude that's Jeff Okudah. That's probably the most recent example of that I can think of. Of he comes in so there's a wide range of how people feel about him, but even if you see things that bother you, you're going to talk yourself out of it. I hope that made sense. I kind of talked around that, but
the 2025 cornerback class definitely loaded at the top. 3 guys that could go inside. What'd you say? The top 8?
I have them in terms of prospect ranking. I have them in the top 8. I don't remember ever seeing 3 corners go in the top 10 and going in. If you see a mock draft that doesn't have them that high, you should probably just stop reading it because I don't see how we're going to get there. Yeah. This draft is the exact opposite of last year's. So this year we had to get to pick 17 before we had a defensive player taken. You're probably getting to 17 next year, and 12 of the top 17 have been defensive players. You just had a lot of guys come back to school that I don't know that we necessarily expected. You got a lot of edge rushers, which we talked about last week, and then you get into a really deep crop of corners.
Mm-hmm. We will continue with this deep crop of corners coming up next here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Travis Hunter at 1, Will Johnson from Michigan at 2, Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame at 3. We'll pick it up after the break.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather.
Clear.
ESPN.
Thank you.
The high today will approach 81 under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. There may be an occasional shower thunderstorm.
Are we still doing crime?
And then cloudy with areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60.
Yes, sir.
A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially before a few afternoon thunderstorms develop, and the high hits 85. And then rain will increase in coverage through Wednesday afternoon with showers and thunderstorms at times, and a high temperature eventually hitting the low 80s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The biggest stars in the universe
are on a collision course
with one stage. Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, returns.
Re-entering the Las Vegas atmosphere this September. Stream live only on Hulu.
Be here as our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup is revealed.
Tomorrow morning at 8.
This is the best time for being outdoors, but not if your knees, shoulders, backs, or hips are hurting. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk and run and hike and play golf and move again pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim.
What is your crime story about?
Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517.
Mine's about a Waffle
Asheville
House.
and Greenville.
Okay.
Cleaning's hottest summer sale is going on now.
Mine's about a bad car robbery.
Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 15% off your next service. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Let's go to Australia, where, some dumbasses tried to do crime. Queensland, Australia, on Friday, a group of 3 hooded men break into the workshop of Mark Trueno. Mark Trueno, just did a quick Google search to try to figure out who this guy is because he has some very nice toys in the garage that these guys broke into. So I thought, well, I need to figure out what he does. He apparently is a reporter or a contributor, at least for carexpert.au. So I don't know if that's a big website in Australia as far as car experts go, but he's a car guy. He's got a lot of cool toys in this garage. CCTV released from the break-in shows the guys trying to get to some of the cars, but the problem is parked in front of the door of the garage is a giant tank. And I'm not talking old school tank. This thing is high-tech, state-of-the-art. He stole this from the Australian military or something. I don't know. It is quite the machine. So to get it out of the way, apparently they were trying to, disable the parking brake or something on this thing to roll it out of the way or drive it out of the way. One guy gets behind the tank on the CCTV screen. You see sparks flying out. He's going at it with an angle grinder. And then the tank loosens up and starts going backwards. And that did not end well for the guy behind the tank. They crushed this guy against the door. You can hear him screaming on the CCTV. And if that happened, Jeremy, what would you choose to do? Would you, A, choose to help your friend and free him and leave the scene? Or B, would you do the cowardly thing?
I want to say.
I want to say I'd help you, Tank.
I'm not sure I would. And I'm trying to be honest about myself here.
I would like to think that I would help out as well. However, I never would have been in that situation in the first place. But so the guy gets crushed against the door, and then they just left him. They see he's screaming, and then they just turn around and start going through toolboxes to see if there's anything quicker we can grab, and then gone. Left the guy to crawl himself out from underneath the tank. The only thing left at the scene were bloodstains. And that, my friends, is karma. That's one of those stories that you never tell anybody. We broke into a garage one time, and I got crushed by a tank. Hey, what happened to your leg? I don't know, alligator.
I'm dumb. I'm a real dumb man.
Yeah, it was alligator. This guy said they showed up with all of the tools. He said they came prepared. They got a crowbar, grinder, torch, everything, except for their own brains, apparently.
My story involves two stores,
okay,
businesses that they kind of lend themselves to don't do crime stories. That would be Waffle House and the Red Roof Inn. Story's about 31-year-old Jonathan William Beard. Comes from Tuesday of last week. Around 12:55 a.m., he assaulted 2 Waffle House employees using a folding knife to rob the restaurant. If you're going to assault employees of any establishment and try to rob them, Waffle House should be dead last on your list. Because you might FAFO. That is one place that if you're looking for a fight, I promise you there is somebody that is willing to give it to you. But Mr. Beard was able to make away with all the cash in the register. How much cash do you think is in the register at a Waffle House at 1 o'clock in the morning?
I would say $125, Bob.
You are too low. It is $388.
Shoot.
He steals the money out of the register. He strikes 2 more employees, makes off with the cash, and he runs to a place that I'm going to say he probably knew all too well, the Red Roof Inn. And he made his way into the hotel's attic trying to hide. A hotel with an attic.
So he was literally under the red roof.
Yes. He was probably touching the red roof. It would always scare me if I was in a hotel that had an attic. Like, what are you keeping up there? Is it the ex-guests of this hotel? Is that a service that you provide?
I don't want anything referred to as the attic of the hotel. If I'm not staying in the Sidewinder hotel from The Shining.
Yeah, I'm good. So he accesses the hotel's attic through a utility room door, and police were alerted of his location because he wasn't supposed to be there. Police found Beard hiding in the attic, and shocker of all shockers, he refused to comply with the officer's demands. What did he do at this point? This is the stupidest thing he could have done, by the way.
Set it on fire.
Nope. He started throwing the stolen money at the cops. I don't know if he thought this was going to harm them. I don't know if he thought maybe his $388 would be enough for them to just go, thanks for the bribe, and we're going to run away now.
I'm giving it back, Truce.
Well,
giving it back.
Well, he didn't give it back. He wasn't giving it back, and I'll tell you why I know that in just a minute. Well, the police were not susceptible to his potential bribe, and so they responded with pepper spray. They then tased him and shot him with beanbag rounds. At one point, he fell through the roof of the attic into 3 separate rooms. I want you to think about what I just said. How do you fall into 3 separate rooms at the same time?
It must have been a big old boy.
I'm gonna say he's probably the size of Old Tank, and he went through the drywall and all. He was charged with aggravated robbery, burglary, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 4 counts of vandalism. The damage to the hotel rooms, estimated at around $30,000.
Wow.
Okay, and maybe this is me being a jerk because I don't ever stay in this particular establishment. Is a whole Red Roof Inn worth $30,000? Like, if you showed up at Red Roof Inn right now and went, I have $30,000, would you just be the new manager?
Yes.
I agree. They recovered $381 of the $388 that he stole.
What happened to the 7?
We don't know. It was not on his person. It was not found in the attic. It was not found in the Red Roof Inn.
If Fatty had to stop for snacks, that's
the only thing I could think is that maybe he went up and hit that dollar menu. Maybe he was a dollar millionaire at the old Mickey D's. Got him. Well, I mean, Bidenomics, I guess he got 2 double cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
I remember when those were $1. Thanks for that.
Old Nate Newton had to stop over for some snacks, and then he fell into 3 separate rooms. He fell on the wall connecting 3 rooms.
Well,
and he broke that wall, and that's what cost $30,000. It was a load-bearing wall.
Oh, he
broke.
I was going to say that he fell into the safe of another inhabitant who had $27,500 of crystal meth in the safe, and that was the. I didn't notice this, but there is a picture of the feller at the bottom of the story, and he's not He's not a big man.
4.25 bills.
No, he's not a big man. He does, however, have a barbed wire tattoo and a tattoo over his shoulder with a cross that says, "Only God can judge me." Well, you're about to find out that that's not true. Because I feel like there's a judge in Tennessee that's about to.
I was going to say, hey, Nate, we're all judging you right now, brother.
By the way, that was in Crossville,
good.
Tennessee. I don't know if I ever said where that was located.
Crossville, Tennessee.
It's kind of like the cross on his shoulder. Yeah, they're apparently big on crosses there in Tennessee.
Yeah, see, now I have to Google it to find out where Crossville, Tennessee is.
I'm gonna say that. I mean, it's a nice Waffle House from what I can see. I am curious if that Waffle House also has bulletproof windows.
Yeah, Crossville is in the absolute middle of nowhere, right off of I-40, halfway between Knoxville and Nashville.
Oh yeah, that's in that spot of the drive where you go, why am I doing this again?
That's got to be like McMinn County. That's Methville.
Oh, this story's methed up. I feel very sure of that. Have I ever told you how I found out that Waffle House has bulletproof windows?
Yeah, because you threw somebody into one?
No. I witnessed a fight. So if you've been to the lovely Waffle House establishments, you know that there are tables along the windows, and then there's always windows along the front that have individual chairs. I saw a feller decide that he was going to throw somebody through the window, and he bounced off that thing like a bouncy ball. And drunk Jeremy thought that was the funniest thing he had ever seen in his life. It made a noise that I can't duplicate, but there's something really funny when you're expecting to see a grown man go through a window and it break, and you just see him go boop and bounce off like a basketball. It's quite funny. It wasn't funny to him. I mean, it looked like it hurt quite a bit, actually.
Yes.
I never even stopped eating my hash browns. I just went, there's something I didn't know. You learn something new every day.
All right, let's get back into the summer scouting, the top corners for the 2025 NFL draft here in the Sportsocracy, continuing our position-by-position breakdowns, or I guess previews of the upcoming draft class. Talking corners here, Travis Hunter of Colorado was 1, Will Johnson, Michigan 2, Benjamin Morrison of Notre Dame 3. Jeremy says all 3 of those corners are ranked inside his top 8 prospects for the upcoming draft. You got an Ohio State guy here close?
Denzel Burke, he's my 5. I want to love him. I really do, but I don't. I have him behind Takario Davis from Arizona. I feel like Denzel Burke to me feels like the guy that goes at the end of the first round. He becomes some good team's 2, and he's just never like he has Baltimore Raven written all over him. New Orleans Saint or whoever. I don't see number 1 corner there. Takario Davis, I like a lot. He's very scheme specific. He actually reminds me more of Sauce than any guy that I've ever seen. I don't think he's that good, but you put him in that off-man zone scheme, like you get him in Miami or with the Jets don't need a corner, but a scheme like that, I think he can be absolutely special. I watched more Arizona tape than I'm proud of. That team has a lot of players. And I don't know that they're all going to be NFL guys. I can tell you Takario Davis is going to be. Those are the 4 that I feel very sure are going in the first round. I have preliminary first-round grades on 6. Denzel Burke that you were – I'm assuming that's who you were asking me about.
Yes, that is who I was asking
about. I mean, do you have you seem like you're really high on him just by the way you asked that to me.
No, I don't. I don't think I have anything specific about his game that I really like. It's just it's hard not to watch Ohio State and notice him.
The only thing that the thing that scares me about Denzel Burke is that he runs very angular. So he kind of reminds me of a lot of former Ohio State corners. If you're planning on playing him on the outside, I think you're going to be fine. I don't think there's anything necessarily special to him. But you get into the NFL is getting smaller and shiftier, and I think small, shifty receivers are going to eat his lunchbox. And that scares me. There is a certain size and kind of body type that worries me. It worried me a little bit with Sauce. He was just so damn good that and Denzel Burke's only 6'1", but he plays taller than that. He plays very upright. And he could improve, but right now I have him as the 5.
Okay. Denzel Burke out of Ohio State. And then
Jabbar Muhammad. I'm sure you knew that name was coming because of how much I talked about him last year. I am dumbfounded that he came back to school. That doesn't happen very often where, I'm not telling you he would have been a first-round pick because he wouldn't have been, especially based on how this class was obviously framed by the league itself. But he had some of the most impressive tape. The problem is that he's just really small. He's 5'10", and I think that's even being generous. But, man, he has got that dog in him that I see him being that high-level. He probably goes early in the second round, and he becomes somebody's slot corner that's almost like a de facto true number 1 to go up against the Amon-Ra St. Browns and the Garrett Wilsons, the guys that run out of the slot. I just think he's a player that every team needs if they're going to play man. The Jets have a guy like this in Michael Carter II, who came out of nowhere, and it's a great time for me to say that I love him, and I want him to re-sign, and please be a Jet forever. But Muhammad came back to school for what reason? I'm not 100% sure, because Washington's not going to be nearly as good.
But did he need it? It
depends.
Did he need that extra year of development?
I don't necessarily think he's going to get any. If you're asking me, do I think he's going to get better and squash some of these fears that people have about him? No, I really don't. I don't think he's going to put tape out there that's any better than what I've already seen. But I think he could hurt himself. Because look, Washington is going to take a step back. There's just no two ways about it. You can't lose that much talent. And now you're putting him on islands, and who knows, maybe he stands up to that and he does quiet all these things down. I just don't think that's the way this is going to go.
Well, and he's at Oregon now.
Oh, did he transfer? I thought he transferred somewhere, but I couldn't.
Yeah, transferred to Oregon.
Yeah, that actually makes what I'm saying. It's always good when you leave out the headline in your notes, because I'm sitting here reading this going, the defense lost talent, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, a new scheme. Mm-hmm. I saw a new scheme and went, wait a minute, something's off here.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. Oregon is just never a place that I think. And I get that it's a different era with Dan Lanning. I just don't necessarily think. I don't see how he's going to be viewed higher than he already was. That's always the problem I get with guys that come back, because it's not like he's going to get any faster. He's not going to get any bigger, and that's really the biggest knock. Technically, he was already really sound in the first place. It just does come into what's going to happen when you come up against a 6'4" wide receiver on the outside?
Right.
Well, you're not going to play out there. Because in the current NFL, it's really hard for a corner that size to end up on the outside.
Yeah. Jabari Muhammad now on his third school. Started at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Was there 3 years. Washington last year was all Pac-12, second team. First team by the Associated Press. The coaches voted him second team. And now he's transferred to Oregon.
I mean, and he's going to be 24 years old when he comes into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I was hinting at, is you get to a certain age where it runs into the Kenny Pickett rule of, okay, even if he does dominate at Oregon, people are going to ask the question, are you doing this because you're such a vet and you're in a man's body? You're 24 years old going to get up against 19-year-olds. Is that going to, any improvement, is that going to make up for the extra year, the fact that you are a year older? And I don't necessarily think so.
All right, any others to mention here before we call it quits for the day?
Jason Marshall from he's the one that I have a big exclamation point next to, because I think he could help himself. I don't know if he will.
Jason Marshall, Florida.
Yes.
Corner.
He's got a lot of talent. I don't really want anything to do with anything at Florida right now. I've heard some stories out of Florida that just, oh boy, man, we were wrong on Billy Napier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go any further than that because I can't confirm some of the things I've heard. But, man, if half is true, then you're looking at this could go down as that's what happened to Florida.
Oh, no.
I mean, because you got Florida State that's surging. I think they're going to be good again. Miami, I think, is in a pretty good spot because they have, adding Cam Ward to a roster that was already pretty good. Wasn't coached particularly well, but it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Well, we thought that about the Ron Zook era, too, but they bounced back from that at some point.
Because they needed Urban Meyer.
Yes.
There ain't an Urban Meyer out there.
Well, they'll try to find one. They'll try to throw billions of dollars at it at some point. Maybe.
I just hope they hired Deion Sanders so he can come in and get beat by Florida State for 5 years after all the smack he talked about them.
You very well could. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Follow us at the Sportsocracy on all the social medias and, of course, on the YouTubes for all of our summer scouting coverage. We'll be back tomorrow at noon right here on ESPN Asheville. Have a great evening.
I have one thing every business needs.
And we're clear.
Think about it. We swipe
10
and
for.
scroll past stuff all day. But when we're
I
driving,
got to run down to the porch and fix something on their video boards.
That's the magic of audio.
Cool deal. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. You need anything from me tonight?
Living life.
No, I think I'm good.
10 for. All right. I'll be on a little earlier tomorrow. We got some stuff to talk about.
Cool deal.
All right, brother. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
iHeartAdvertising.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
the Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The high today will approach 81 under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. There may be an occasional shower thunderstorm. That'll also be the case early this evening, and then cloudy with areas of fog overnight as the low hovers near 60. A warmer Tuesday with some sunshine initially before